All right, welcome back, everybody. How you doing? Good to see you guys. Thanks for dropping by for another episode of Let's Play Minecraft with Crymo. Hey, I hope you guys are doing well this week. I didn't know what to say there. I don't know. I don't have these prepared. Anyway, I do want to start off today's episode with a little mini tour. Not a mini tour of everything we've done, just to show you a couple of things that I haven't shown you that I've done in the in-between times, as we call them. First thing is, I have completed the outfitting of the gear. Look at that. Mending. More mending. Although this one and this one, these aren't done. This one needs protection 4 added, and this one needs unbreaking 3. Oh yeah, more mending. And this one needs quick charge 3. So my gear is not fully like top notch. It's about 90% there. I kind of overstepped. I kind of jumped the shark a little bit. Jumped the gun on getting the mending. I kind of wanted to get mending. So the process happened like this. I will explain that, but also I will explain this guy. What's up, cat? These cats have no name. This cat is super cool. Siamese cat. Yeah, I like Siamese cats. Anyway, so I do have a couple of cats. I picked them up on journeys out to the desert, which we have on the map here. You know, I go to the nether portal, go down here, try to mine up some sand and stuff, and there's villages, so I picked up some cats on the way. And I think currently we have 3, I believe. Oh, is it not going to render it? Right over there, sitting on the grass, probably right behind the warped tree, whatever that is. There's a cat, a jelly cat over there. And there's another one we can go see, who I stationed out there by the where the butchery is going to go, because creepers, anti-creeper machines is what I want to get going. Also, found one of those guys using a looting sword while I was successfully navigating the nether. Didn't die. Got some resources. Got 1 skull. Kind of cool. Speaking of which, I do. While I was out in the nether, I kind of traipsed around trying to find some crimson wood, which I did find, and I'll put up a couple screenshots here of a couple of special locations I found that I think they will definitely generate, they will bear some exploration in the near future. So the reason I have mending is because I've got the villagers starting to go. We had so much wool coming in, and I was like, oh, we got the shepherd's house built up here, which I haven't fully decorated inside. It's probably as close as it's going to get. I haven't done the backside here or any of the pathways or whatever. But I just was like, okay, we got a villager. Let me just test out the whole villager process over there at our purifier, zombificator sort of thing. And I went ahead and picked this guy up. I haven't named him yet. Decorated his spot here, gave him a little bird. Got a little bird to hang out with. He's got his books. He likes, he likes records and stuff. He likes his music. He's got a couple of paintings. He deals in, look at his deals here. So we've got him all down to 1 emerald. Super, super cool. We could buy some paintings from him. A couple of red banners. I wish they would have a white banner trade, but I don't believe that's a possibility. So anyway, I picked up a couple of things buying from him, and he's got a little setup here, and he's kind of decked out in his little room. We don't want him to escape. Let me rephrase that. We want him to feel safe and at home. So, he's hanging out in here and can't really go anywhere. So he's safe. He's safe. Got some of the stuff in here that we've traded for. And, we periodically can come over here and pick up some emeralds. So anyway, we cruise over here. And as you saw, it was pretty easy to get the villager. I was actually very impressed with how I got to knock on wood or cross my fingers because this probably won't be as easy next time. But it was very easy to have the villager follow his job site all the way over to his house. And that worked out so well. I'm hoping it'll work out that well for remaining villagers. So down here in the Zombificator purifier system thing, I've had to make a couple of adjustments because, yeah, I had barrels in here and I had the brewing stand set up. We've got a bunch of potions ready to go. Got some golden apples. But when I dropped the villager down into here and I used this to give him a job site, it was taking them so long to pick up the job site. And then I read that it might be an issue with having additional job sites around, that might make it slow for them to pick up on a job site. So I removed all that stuff. It kind of had an effect, but then I think what might be another issue, which is kind of a bummer, but I didn't really know about this, and I don't know if this is a factor. But when they're sitting here in a minecart and I drop the job site, it often takes them like 10 minutes to select the job site. And I'm starting to wonder if that might have to be because it might have to do with the fact that there's a zombie threatening them very close by. So what I've done, by the way, this is our mending villager, got him down to 1. I cured him up 4 times, I believe. Maybe 3 or 4 times. I know I could do up to 5, so probably his later books won't have the same discount, but you know, for now it's fine if we want to, whatever. Blast Protection 3, kind of a nonsense thing, but anyway, he's good to go. And then right over here, we have our butcher ready to go because for today's build, probably you know from the title, we're building the boucherie. That's right, and he's maxed out, which actually was really easy. I thought for sure, I was like, oh man, I'm gonna have to build a chicken farm and blah, blah, blah. But no, it took very few trades to get him all the way up to what we want. This is the prime trade. Sweet berries. 1 sweet berry for an emerald? That's crazy. Crazy time. Because sweet berries grow like mad. So another little adjustment I did in here is I made these stretches here. This stretch, and then the stretch that he's on, there's a lever right behind him there. And then there's a lever to power this stretch. So I have 3 stretches of powered rails that I made switchable. They were previously always on, which I don't really know what my thought process was. Like I had to spin them around. I don't know why, but what this does is actually allow me to have multiple villagers kind of in a cycle. And it's a little tedious because I do have to turn on the rail, come around here, and then push them, you know, and then he'll stop on the next one. So we can kind of hold them in place, and that way we can kind of get multiple villagers going, and then we could cycle them around and have Gary. If I pop Gary up right now, he'll attack our guy again. So maybe I'll loop him into this next layer really quick. So we'll make sure our track here is not pointing out. Make sure it's looped around. We'll release the wall, and he'll go and stop right there. And then we can kind of push him in a little bit. And then he's safe. I can turn on the power rail here and then give him a shove, and he'll go to the next section. So the reason I did that is because of this issue of how long it was taking the villagers to get a job. I thought, and I have to do more experimentation with more villagers to see if this is an issue, but I eventually brought this guy, our librarian, all the way around over here and let him sit here behind, you know, so he couldn't have an eye line to the zombie. I'm sorry, an eye line to Gary. So that if he couldn't see Gary, it did seem like he reacted to the job site block quicker. And it took a while because every time I dropped the lectern, it just would take him like literally 10 minutes to pick up the job until I brought him over here. And then he seemed to do it a couple more times, but I got the mending trade came up so quickly. I only dropped the lectern, like I only broke the lectern 2 or 3 times, and the mending trade popped up, and I was like, okay, we're just going with the mending. That's just what I wanted. And so I didn't do too much experimentation with sort of hiding them from Gary's, you know, horrendous gaze. You know, Gary makes anyone nervous. I could see it. I could see it, Gary. Why are you so mean? Why are you so mean, dude? Anyway, so that's what's going on here. We can bring another villager down, but The next two villagers that I want to bring down for maximizing our emerald production is, of course, a cartographer and a Fletcher, which, of course, will translate to building 2 more abodes after we build the boucherie. One for the cartographer and one for the Fletcher. So I have no idea where those are going to go. I don't know what the designs are going to be for their houses or anything. I do have a design that I already built in a design world for the butcher's house, which is going to go right over here by the the butcher's shed. But anyway, we got a little. I did throw a little sugarcane farm down in here, and just sort of caved it up. I don't know what that is. Gave it a little overhang, kind of tucked it away down here, and the sugarcane actually deposits into this barrel right there, which it's pretty slow. Okay, that's enough jibber jabber. That's enough ramble. Let's get on with it. course it's raining, of course. Jeez. Oh, boy. Well, anyway. Okay. Well, I can't get rid of the rain. I thought it was almost night, but it's not. So, carrying on. Anyway, yeah. How do you guys like this build? I'm pretty happy with it. I think it's pretty cool. It's definitely fairly large. And, of course, over here, I need to sort of figure this out, how this is going to kind of blend into the landscape here. But that's no big deal. That'll be kind of fun to figure out. And then, of course, the backside, kind of, I'll probably take down some of these trees here maybe in a bit, or just kind of grow them taller. And we'll see how it turns out. Now, I do have some missing, there's still some, like, it's not completely finished. I've got some missing blocks in here and stuff. So the way I built this, I designed this in a design world. And this was my first time using something called Litematica. I learned about it through, I mean, I've heard of it before, but I didn't really know what it was. And I watched B00 started a new building with B00 series, and his first episode, he explained that he's using Litematica. And I was like, what is that? And he showed it off. And so I went and checked it out, and I was like, oh my goodness, this is pretty cool. So Litematica is a schematic. It's a, I was going to say hallucination. it's a hallucinatory schematic building program. It is a holographic. It's going to be a pretty specific use case scenario. In other words, it's only, well, I mean, I'm sure there's all kinds of ways you can use it, but it's really, for me, only going to be useful when I design a building like almost entirely in a design world. And then, you know, I still have to have the blocks and place all the blocks and everything. I'm not using, I think there is a way where you can import a build actually built. But I'm not going to do that because that would be cheating or whatever. I don't feel like doing that. I like placing the blocks. This is my first time using it, and I actually forgot one of the key features, and I just realized it after I finished the build here. But for example, you can see, so I just toggled on the view. So it's like a hologram, and all these red blocks are saying that these are not the appropriate blocks that were in the original schematic, and that's because I changed some things up, you know, as I went. So anyway, but one of the cool things, like I think I can bring in another hologram. Let's see, we can go to load schematics. We can load another one of these, I think. Load it. And then, see, there it is right here. And then we can move it around. I mean, it's pretty cool. The way that you move it around is you put the Litematica tool in your hand, which is literally a stick. So once you have a stick in your hand, then you can see the menu popped up in the bottom corner of the screen. And if I want to move this, I can hold down my option key and scroll my mouse button. And whichever direction I'm facing, I can scroll it around. There's a way to rotate it as well. You go into the menu and rotate it. Now, one of the coolest features that I am actually remembering right now is, let's say we wanted to put this here. If you look in the upper right corner, when you are hovering over, you know, the holographic block, it'll tell you what that block is. Now it gets super confusing in here. And it was pretty difficult actually to build with. So in some ways I was like, I don't know if this is really worth the thing, rather than building off of, you know, a bunch of saved screenshots or whatever. It probably would have taken me just as long because it was my first time, but that's because I forgot one of the key features. Oh, you can also raise and lower this. Like if we want to raise it up off the ground, I can, you know, scroll it up that way. Oh, we can't see. So it scrolls up. See, I saved all these different blocks. That was just part of the design world. And then if I want to bring it down, hold down that option key and scroll it back down, and there it is. Now, there's a way to just show it by layers, which I think is, oh, I thought it was page up, page down. I think it is page up, page down, but I don't know layer mode. I don't know. I guess I have to watch the tutorial again, or maybe the Mac thing doesn't work right, where you're supposed to be able to make all these layers disappear, and then you can just display layer one at a time. You can just scroll. You're supposed to just be able to scroll up and scroll down, but so I thought I had to hold the stick to do it, but anyway, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why it's doing this. It's pretty neat though. You can see like the uses for it. I don't understand why it's coming from the top down. There must be some way to invert the display. But anyway, so this is Litematica. So it's pretty neat if you want to like save something you build in a creative world, and then all you have to have is the plugin or the mod in your mod folder, and then you save the schematic in your whatever world you want to save it in, and then it's available to you as a file. One of the coolest things that's pretty handy, whether you use this schematic to build or not, one of the coolest things about this is I went to load schematics. So you see here, I had 3 different versions. They weren't super different versions of the house. They were just different textures and something I had half built. And I was like, oh, I better put all the blocks in here, because if you want to check this out, you can bring up a materials list, and it will literally count every block that's in your saved schematic. So you can kind of, the smooth stone and grass is from my build world or whatever, right? But everything else, I was like, oh yeah, okay. So I gathered all my materials, threw them in the chests, made sure I had like minimum numbers, and made a few extras, and it was pretty cool, pretty neat. So anyway, and then you can leave all this here, and like like the schematic can be in your world or whatever there, and then you can just hide it with a keystroke, or you can actually go in physically and unload. I can go in here and unload the schematic, and there it is. It's not here anymore. You know, it's useful for when you're building, when you build something and you want to copy it somewhere else, right? Not use screenshots or whatever. But, you know, if I build something on the fly in the world, like I did the stuff in the last episode, like since I was just building here, you know, there was no reason to do schematics or whatever. Even though last week when I did this, I didn't actually know about Schematica. So yeah, this is pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with the design, and I am going to decorate outside, kind of do a little bit of terraforming, a little bit of landscaping, kind of get this thing all looking like it's part of the world. But yeah, it's another nice tall roof line, isn't it? Okay, so while I get to building some of the exterior stuff out here, the exterior of the boucherie, I'm going to highlight some of my favorite YouTube channels, starting with non-Minecraft channels. And this is by no means a complete list. This is just some of the channels I thought I'd mention, and some of them you might already be familiar with, of course. So let me get into this. So the two lists I have will be alphabetical, not in any particular, you know, I like this one more than that one sort of order or whatever. Okay, first up is, starting with A, Alex. This guy is a French chef, but what I initially got really intrigued by was the fact that his kitchen is a workshop, and vice versa. His videos are edited nicely. He does a number of interesting things, like building a hidden cabinet for his top-of-the-line knives and his hardware and stuff, and figuring out how to make the best of, you know, like figuring out how to make the best version of any one particular dish. Things like eggs Benedict or fried rice, stuff like that. And of course, you know, after watching his videos, you just want something good to eat. But yeah, it's a super fun channel and kind of informative on like food stuff. Anyway, I don't know, I just find it interesting. The next one I have is Brick Designed, which is a Lego builds channel. I follow the builder on Instagram, and she makes some incredibly cool architecture, like houses, minifigure scale stuff. But her channel, Brick Designed, I believe, is mostly minifigure scale decorations, furniture, etc., stuff like that. And for any of you out there that are into Lego, her short videos detailing how to build these very cool little items might be worth a look. You know, we all know I love miniatures, kind of half the reason I play Minecraft, which is a weird thing to say, but anyway, Brick Design is pretty cool. Next is Christine McConnell, who is an interesting YouTuber. She's kind of a gothic arts and crafts channel. She's a pretty big channel, but she's like on a whole nother scale of arts and crafts. She even did a show once, like a series with like gothic Muppets that was all about arting and crafting various things. And she does baking. She does all kinds of things, but with this very particular sort of Victorian Gothic aesthetic. Her latest videos have been about how she and her partner bought an old Victorian mansion sight unseen. I mean, they saw pictures of the exterior, but they didn't know what the interior looked like. They just flat out purchased it. And then she's been restoring it with her particular aesthetic. And I remember in one video, she stripped off the wallpaper off the dining room walls, and discovered that the original, like the #1 original wallpaper, was still underneath all these other layers of paint and wallpaper, but it was damaged in certain portions of the room. So they stripped off all the exterior, all the extra layers, and she proceeded to manually mix house paints to match the colors, and then straight up hand painted the design, which is like a floral, like literally like literal roses and like a hash, like a fencing pattern with shadows and stuff. And she hand painted it all on the wall, and it's just pretty far out. Anyway, I don't know. She's an interesting channel, and might be interesting for you to check out. All right, the next one is for people that enjoy movies, Film Joy. That's the name of the actual channel, but in particular, the series Movies with Mikey is excellently edited and entertaining deep dives into specific movies. This guy's fantastic. He's a fantastic movie critic to watch. And if you like movies or, movie reviews or deep dives into story, character, etc., you might find a couple of titles that he's deep dived into. And they're just very cool, very fun, really well edited and informative videos about particular movies. So check out Movies with Mikey on the Film Joy channel. Super fun stuff. Joe Scott does a series called Answers with Joe. Basically, he researches and talks about a ton of really interesting and sometimes poignant, like, scientific topics. But he'll go into things as wide-ranging as, like, regenerative farming techniques to astrophysics to even stuff like historical origins of spook tales. I liked his video on the British boogeyman Spring-Heeled Jack. It was pretty informative and interesting stuff. So there's always very cool topics that he comments on. He comments on, but he also does research and tries to show all different sides of particular issues. Jordan Grimmer is a concept artist whose time-lapse art videos have no commentary and would definitely go into the dopamine detox category. To me, they're very cool to watch, to just chill out, be calm, and the final results are always impressive. It's always impressive to watch a painting materialize, and while his stuff is vaguely impressionistic, the end result it's strangely impressionistic, but simultaneously specific. Like, you know exactly what you're looking at. Like, oh, that's a castle on a cliff face, or, that's whatever. Anyway, the end result is super cool. Anyway, there's a reason he's a professional artist. It's just beautiful stuff that might inspire you to, create something. Piximperfect is a Photoshop tips and tutorial channel, and if you work with Photoshop at all, I highly recommend Unmesh and his tutorials for two reasons. One, he's always showing something unique and really interesting about what Photoshop can do, and two, his way of teaching is super clear and concise, which is something I struggle to be at any time of the day. So, I basically suck as a teacher because I get impatient and don't really know how to communicate succinctly and patiently. And anyway, but Piximperfect is a great Photoshop tips channel. Jill Barup is a stage fighting enthusiast, and on her channel, she breaks down cinematic sword fights and action scenes and sometimes discusses ludicrous armor created by wardrobe departments and things like that. Her videos are really fun. Check her out for some deep dives on fight choreography and medieval weaponry and female armor and just generally cool stuff in that sort of motif. Marco Frazzoni is an artist turned miniature painter. If any of you are interested at all in miniature painting or just want to watch a new kind of time-lapse art, this dude is amazing. Truly, he applies traditional art concepts to miniatures, and the results are always incredible. He's also Italian and has a crazy accent and a fantastic personality. He's kind of like, to me, like I don't know, it sounds kind of silly, but he's kind of like the Iskall of miniature painting, the Iskall 85 Minecrafter. All right, Minimal Russian Girl is a pretty different channel for me to watch, for sure. She just vlogs about her real life in Russia with her partner and her kiddo, and she talks about things like how they live on a day-to-day basis, like where they go shopping, how they decorate their apartment, and just what daily life is like. And these types of vlogs usually don't catch my interest, but when the vlog is showing like real life with real people in a culture I don't know much about, it can be pretty compelling. Just like an interesting way to see like some reality that's different, from our own. And I kind of enjoyed this look behind the Iron Curtain, so to speak. Maybe that's a completely faux pas thing to say at this point. I don't really know. But anyway, it's I really like just sort of the grounded reality of her videos, and just it's just interesting to see what it's like in another area of the world. Sabine Hassenfelder is a physicist who creates videos on all kinds of scientific concepts. Her tagline is "Science without the gobbledygook," and that's what I like about her channel. She explains very interesting and high-level physics concepts in a way that's easy and, again, interesting to follow. And she has some pretty cool topics. You probably find something pretty interesting on her channel. The Craftsman Steady Crafting, Gotta mention him. Is a channel you just have to check him out to see what he's like. It is a crafting channel, but it's all about the craftsman himself. Not the channel's not about the craftsman himself, but my recommendation to watch his videos or to put them on and listen to them is just about the craftsman, and you'll know what I'm talking about if you check one out immediately. You'll within 20 seconds you'll understand like the vibe of his personality and his outlook on life, and he never fails to make me feel good in a general sort of living life kind of way. And yeah, he's the craftsman, no T in there. So keep on steady crafting. Last in my non-YouTube list here for interesting channels to check out is the Wormwood Gaming channel. Their YouTube series is called Worm Life. I do think the channel's name is Wormwood, but their series is called Worm Life. Anyway, it's really fun to watch. Wormwood Gaming started out making bespoke gaming tables for people that have, and when I say gaming tables, I mean like board game or role-playing game, tabletop games. Not video games. So they made bespoke gaming tables that have a starting price of $10,000. Like they were super high end. Most of their stuff is very high end craftsmanship. But they've since had the third largest successful Kickstarter, I think, making something like $7 million in a couple of days for their new modular gaming table line. And the thing I really like about their videos is they specifically show in an entertaining way like all the nitty gritty of running a business. And a lot of it is really surprising for someone who doesn't, run a business. They don't shy away from difficult stuff. They discuss things like the pros and cons of providing healthcare from a business standpoint to their employees, to issues with sourcing materials for their products. You get to see like their machines break down. Like these are machines that cost $100,000, and they have to fix it themselves in order to get their production line up and running. And I don't know, it just initially I started watching because it was just an entertaining, vlog style, company vlog type thing that was entertaining and fun to watch. But I really stuck around because of just how open they are with you can just see all of their decision-making process as a business. And that to me is pretty interesting. All right, on to some of my new favorite Minecraft channels. Actually, some of them aren't new, but anyway, a lot of these are new for me anyway. Blue Nerd is a builder who specializes in medieval buildings and structures, villages, etc. His texture pack is the one that I stole some of the randomized flower textures I've got going on in my texture pack. So he's got quite a few videos that detail examples of things like pathways or interior decorations or how to build awesome roof lines, etc. He's got an excellent aesthetic. I'm sure you'll see a lot of his aesthetic inspiring me in more than a few of my builds in this series here. Broken Pixel is a smaller YouTuber I found through Jagiero, and this dude can build. The first video on his channel that caught my eye was a structure or a house. I forgot what the actual interior is for. He made, but the outside, it looked like an ornate teapot. Just genius. It's such a cool build, and it's just one of many. Interesting note, Broken Pixel and Jagiero just started playing on a new, better Minecraft modded SMP with a couple of other YouTubers I'm mentioning in a minute. So I'll be watching that SMP's video series for sure. The next channel is a fairly popular Minecrafter. She's a pretty big channel, Brickella. But she's new to me. I just recently found her. She's currently got a hardcore series going on, and her building style is definitely in the fairy tale cottagecore style that I currently really enjoy. Her videos are short and to the point, the opposite of mine. And her builds are super cute, very pretty, just magical, fun to look at. It's just cool and fun. Fairy tale cottagecore. Folly, if I'm pronouncing that right, is a pretty big channel. That is basically sort of how to build type of videos with no commentary. Just these sort of long, peaceful, gorgeous building processes being created for your enjoyment. Definitely in the dopamine detox category. And the building style is fairly standard medieval architecture. But I think the keyword here is architecture. They're pretty spectacular builds. Frog crafting is another I don't know, mid-sized channel, and she gets, averages like 5,000 views. So she's a pretty big channel. So new to me. I don't know how long she's been around, but she's doing a survival series right now using the Mizuno 16 Crafts texture pack, and that's the pack I stole the Curly Q Fern texture from. So it looks like modded, but it's just a texture pack, I think. And her builds are super cottagecore, and with that texture pack on, it's pretty fun to see. Infinite Drift, I mentioned a couple episodes ago, but she's definitely on this list of recommendations and is probably already known to most of you. She's got a pretty big channel. In addition to doing those 3-hour dopamine detox type relaxed long plays, she also plays on a couple of SMPs and does her own survival series. Along with Blue Nerd, Infinite Drift is stylistically one of my current, inspiration Minecrafters that I look at. Jaggiero is Jaggiero, go watch him. Yeah, he's a fantastic builder. I remember keying in on his content back before I started my first Let's Play series. I came across his lumber mill on Reddit. I mean, this is like, I don't know when this is from, 2015 or something, 2016 maybe. And that Reddit post took me to his videos, and it was the first time I kind of came across the idea of building an aesthetic build that had a game function built into it. Like he built a lumber mill, and then inside was like his wood storage and stuff, and which I know is a very common thing, but for me at that time, I was new to Minecraft, and it was kind of a new thing. And recently, I know Jag's been working on a crazy cyberpunk city. You gotta check out just to see it. I mean, it's amazing. And now he's on that modded SMP with Infinite Drift, Broken Pixel, and Severus, who I'm going to talk about in a minute. So freaking cool. I don't think he's played much modded, so it will be awesome to see what he does with, like 11 million extra decorative building blocks for a guy who can't get enough blocks. It's going to be rather amazing to see what he does with it. GenTube is another architecture type of Minecrafter. Their videos have no commentary and are almost exclusively in the modern house type of style. So they're kind of, I mean, there are a lot of channels that do that, but I really enjoy GenTube's builds. I don't know, it's just an interesting modern aesthetic to check out in Minecraft. They only use vanilla textures with a shader pack, so a lot of the ideas are easily transferable to to our own builds. And again, another sort of dopamine detoxing sort of video style where it's just calm music and the dopamine hits from those Minecraft building sounds. Now, Lettuce is a new Minecrafter channel, but he's growing rapidly because his content is pretty fun. He's a great builder, but his editing and commentary is bizarrely fun. He's got this one shtick that is, I'm going to say it again, pretty fun and funny, but I won't spoil it in case you want to check him out on your own. He's definitely not a full-time Minecrafter, and he's definitely stated that he wants to avoid burnout. So he doesn't post on a regular schedule, but he's one of the very, very few channels, I think less than like 5, that I've actually, quote unquote, hit the bell icon for. I hate hearing that in videos. Like and subscribe and hit the bell. Like, just shut up. We all know that. You don't need to put that in your videos every single time. Anyway, moving on. I'll do another video someday about my YouTuber pet peeves. That's just craziness. All right. Luna Moonbow is someone very new to me. I literally just started watching her like a few days ago. And I don't know what her audience size is or how much. I haven't actually investigated a lot of her channel to see how many videos she's got. I do know she streams once in a while on YouTube. But she just started a new survival series, and I don't know, she's just super cool. And there's in her second episode, we got to see her building chops, and she immediately went on this list. I think you guys would really dig her if you haven't seen her stuff yet. And I straight up told her in a comment on her second episode, I'm stealing one of her design palettes. So there, can't stop me, Luna. Game on. Anyway, she's great. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how she develops her world for sure. Severus. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I should know because I'm sure everybody says their name at the beginning of every video, but, Crymo's brain is slow at the best of times. I don't know. I realize that my self-deprecation gets kind of annoying at times, so I try to knock that off too. I just always try to find, it's a huge failing of mine. It's a huge fault of mine that I try to, account for my mistakes ahead of time. I like to preemptively account for my mistakes. That's a whole thing I got to get into. Anyway, Severus is another new Minecrafter to me, but I became aware of her through Infinite Drift's SMP videos. Her personality is brash. She's very cool. Her building chops are pretty awesome. She's got a couple of different series going on. I typically prefer to watch only vanilla Let's Plays, but she's also on that modded SMP with Jaguero, so I'll be following her on that too. And her build style is really cool. I do like her builds. And last on this list I have Zapixel, who is another sort of how to build a cute river bridge style of channel. Their building style is definitely cottagecore, and their builds are really nice and super nicely edited. Those particular videos, I actually really enjoy the construction of their videos in post-production. They definitely fit that sort of dopamine detox style of video content. But they just started a no commentary survival series that I do really hope continues. There's only one episode so far. They do put text on the screen sometimes, and in place of commentary, just a couple of lines here or there. But it's just having seen their build style through all their other videos, I'm really looking forward to see what they do actually in survival. I do find that an interesting concept to see someone who's done a lot of creative building and then creative mode building, and then see them take on a survival challenge sort of a thing. All right, that's a few. Well, I guess 25. It's 25 is a few of some of my current favorite YouTube channels, and they're all linked below in the description, so you can easily find their channels and check out their content if there's anyone on there that sounds interesting or that you haven't heard of. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, this took me a long time while I was jibber jabbering about my favorite YouTubers that I enjoy. I was working, as you saw, a long time, but it is now, it's literally like 1 or 2 days, IRL different days, but here we go. So I don't think the fields are done yet. I don't know about this. I started this path here that kind of winds around the outside because I believe there will be, some kind of other, another build out here. I'm not sure what that's going to be, or even how I don't even know how I'm going to do this edging thing here. Like if there's going to be some sort of path that runs all the way around, or do the fields come like right up to the wall? I don't really know. I'm not really sure yet. So anyway, we'll see how it goes. But I swapped out these things. I think the lighter panels look a little better than the dark wood I had in there, the dark oak. But yeah, I'm overall pretty happy with this build. I'm pretty stoked. I don't know. It's just cool. It's typical sort of cottagecore looking thing, but it's pretty neat. It's pretty neat. I don't know about these lamps right here, little jack-o'-lanterns with these things on there. I'm not sure. This might all change. I just threw this stuff down here just to get some light out here in the fields and kind of as a placeholder. So anyway, as I mentioned, today is it's an IRL new day. Oh, the sun's going to go down while I'm chatting. So I'm going to have to take a nap real quick. I don't want creepers generating out here, and I know there's a big old dark forest behind me. So there we go. Anyway, we'll take a look at it here, and with the shaders on in the daytime, looks pretty nice. They're not super heavy. But I'm digging it. But anyway, and this morning I got up to finish the interior, to decorate the interior of the house, and that was my plan. It took me all day to do. Like, it took me an IRL day. Now, I don't play Minecraft the whole day. I take breaks and I go play Overwatch on my breaks and other things. But so I got up this morning. I was having my morning coffee and some morning tobacco even, because I've kind of got back on that kick. That's pretty terrible, I know, but hey, it is what it is. And 2 emails popped in to my email app, and my email app, how old am I? Anyway, I got 2 emails that dropped in at about 7:15 in the morning, and they were both saying, hey, here's a receipt for your $400 withdrawal from a local ATM. I was like, what? And apparently somebody got hold of my PayPal debit card that apparently had been mailed to me for like a new like a new debit card PayPal thing, and I never got the card. And this person swiped it from my mail and activated it themselves somehow, and pulled $800 out of my PayPal account through an ATM. So of course it was pretty cool that I caught it right away, and I called PayPal, started having, I had to go to the police station, file a report, not because the police can, not because they were going to actually, do anything. They couldn't do much. They told me straight out. They're like, yeah, there's not really anything we're going to be able to do about this, but we'll file your report so you can have it for PayPal. And I was like, good, because PayPal said I need it, to like get my money back. Anyway, so yeah, that's what I did this morning. So, there we go. Welcome to the world. Welcome to the world. There's my little spruce. That's not a spruce tree. That's a birch tree. And then I even added the, I don't know. I just felt like there needed to be it's a butcher's house. I felt like there needed to be, pigs, for bacon. So yeah, this is all fully, decorated. It took me a long time, but I'm pretty happy with it. I kind of went with the little purple, we got the little purple in the leaves there and stuff. And I put the alliums there, little overgrown roots. I really like the root texture. Yeah, that's just super cool. I really do enjoy that. I don't know why I have blue nether plants out here, just because there's blue on the roof and the nether wood. I don't know. The blue just seemed to work good. I do really like this little coal block in there. It's kind of like part of the gradient. If that wasn't entirely, I did all this work on the wall and then I covered it all up with vines and stuff. But, that's how it is. But yeah, so we have a little entrance here. I really like this idea. Of course, everybody does this, but I really do like the dull campfire. I did see a texture pack that removes this charcoal color. It actually has, like, you can have see-through. You just have the wood part. And I was like, scratching my chin thinking that might be cool. But I try to minimize how many blocks I change. I mean, obviously I am using a custom iron bar texture, just because this one's so pretty. But yeah, I don't want to change too many textures because it is kind of I like to build in a way that people can like see it if they like it would look normally, quote unquote normally. Anyway, so we have a little entrance down there. We'll see that after we walk in the other side. Got a little basement window down there, and ooh, look, there's some things in the basement. Oh yeah, what's going on down there? Kind of blended the path in here. Now I haven't connected the paths here yet because I'm not really sure what to do in this spot right here. It probably should just stay green grass, so maybe this path will kind of cruise around, but this little tree I've got here is so low that I can't, you have to kind of skirt around the edge. We'll see. Then we got some barrels here to stash our sweet berries for trading with the butcher. And then we have the main entrance here, coming up the little stairs. Underneath we got some storage. There's nothing in the storage. It's just mostly for show. We'll see what that ends up. Maybe we can always use it for something. Then I did kind of, this was sort of a little, like, it was a dirt cliff face, and there's like this overhang over that water. So I kind of just added in a little fountain there, all the water draining down from the butcher basement. I don't know. That would be bloody water. I have no idea what I'm saying. Anyway, I just kind of thought I needed a way to access this, the little door there that goes into the basement as well. So I thought a little, whatever this is. Well, it's not really a bridge, but it's kind of like it's kind of like a balcony. It just kind of like extends out from the grass line out here. So yeah, covered in greenery and everything. And then we enter through can go down here. And then we have a little table, got some decor, a little dead plant. I love these dead plants. They're one of my favorite blocks. Got some lava. Now I am using game rule fire tick turned off so that lava won't catch my wood on fire, because that's just a pain, and I like whatever. Anyway, I do use I do have that game rule turned off so I can put burning stuff near things. But yeah, the whole idea, all I had for the interior of this entire house, I was like, the only thing I know I want to do is put a couple white concrete blocks with the iron trap doors. They'll look like, cold freezers, cold storage freezers. So, if I could hang up like carcass in here or whatever. My redstone texture pack is sort of a technical redstone texture pack, so I can't put any splashes of blood or anything on the floor, which would be appropriate. But we got some chains hanging down, typical, I don't know. I don't know if it's typical butchery stuff. I have no idea. But we do have a rabbit's foot. Oh yeah, the butcher likes his rabbit's foot. And he likes eggs. I don't know why. He's a Coen Brothers character, apparently. Anyway, so that's our little basement, little thing of storage there with our cold meat. And then, of course, it's a little window out there to the pigs. And I got stuck in my own spider web. This is our door that comes out here to the farmland, cropland, and then we can just cruise up this way. And then this is like the first floor, which is pretty tight. The floors are kind of tight in here, so I didn't do a whole bunch of decorating, and I'm also not very skilled at decorating interiors. That's a nice view, isn't it? It is pretty cool. See the cows hanging out there. Oh, I didn't put a plant on top of this guy right here. I should probably have a little flower or something. But anyway, it's cool. So we got a little, yeah, I like these looms. The back side of the loom or the side of the loom look like shelves or something, or drawers or whatever. That's one of my paintings that I added to the up-res texture pack for the paintings. There's so many different things that can be done. So many different blocks. There's not enough time to try them all. We got our butcher's, now remember, the butcher has a roommate, and the roommate is a mending librarian, right? So somebody in here is, not hacking away with cleavers all the time. Somebody's reading books, doing studies, etc. And I imagine he's like some kind of influence here. But anyway, there's a little reading nook. Got ourselves some bookcases, randomized textures on the bookcases. Go up those little tight stairways. I'm not usually one for tight stairways, but I'm kind of getting more used to it as the scale of these cottagecore buildings sort of work out. Now, this floor is not really decorated for anything. Number one, it's got the lower half slabs, which I know I could fill in. I just sort of forgot. And then I came in to do decorating, and I didn't have any slabs on me. So I was like, all right, whatever. There's no spawning in here. But this is kind of like, I was like, the more that I kind of messed with the blocks in here, I was like, I guess this is kind of, it's kind of like that weird, if you have like a weird artist friend, they got a nice house or something, they have like this big room that's sort of like their gallery, or they don't have any furniture or whatever. I was like, this is like the artist room, but it's kind of like the defining, maybe the split between maybe the butcher hangs out down here and down in this basement. And then we start to go into the influence of our mending librarian. I do really like the note blocks as a texture for interiors. It's a really neat, it's a neat texture. Anyway, and then I thought this would be kind of silly putting in the mushroom block and the half thing, but I actually kind of like it against the white walls. It kind of works well. I did work in some smooth sandstone into these as sort of like degradation, in the bone block walls. Same with the birch there. And I think they work nicely from the outside. I'm not super hip with them on the inside, but hey, the walls are 1 block thick, so what am I going to do? But I do like the way that mushrooms pop out there. But, got a little hanging plant there that I took that design that I had done over there on the entrance to our shepherd's house, which, can we even see the shepherd's house from here? Right there. It's a little roof right there, I guess. Anyway, got all the aliens outside the window. It's pretty nice. And now our stairway gets even weirder here. Now, this doesn't have to be, I kept it open. I like open space. I don't know. There's something about openness. I like it psychologically. It works. I mean, we could have just filled all this in and made it solid floor, but I don't know. This is kind of interesting. I think maybe the fence could be changed, different colors. I don't know. Maybe it should be blue. Oh, maybe this fencing should be warped wood. I'll have to note that for the future. Maybe I can come here and try warped wood as an atrium decor or whatever. But anyway, this little spot here was pretty shallow. We don't have as much depth as we did in the little reading nook downstairs. So just a little shelf, a little plant here. No big deal. Did these to cover up the random blocks that are here because of the exterior roof. Same on both sides. So there we go. And now this is the worst part, where my little thing has to go to the right and go up. It's kind of a little bit of a pain to do this. I could have just maybe brought this straight down. It's like one of the first times I've done an interior, like a full interior of a house. Nice tall windows in the top, keeps it all airy. Added in some more of the trap doors that work really nicely. Got our little lanterns hanging down, and this is the our mending villager's abode. Nice and simple. I don't know why I put moss carpet here. I could put a different color carpet here. I just happen to have moss on me. I do kind of like how it looks, but this could be interchanged or whatever. That's another one of the paintings that I added to the painting texture pack. Pretty cool. I like that one. Came out pretty nice. So anyway, I know he's got like looms and stuff and whatever, and he's got yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to with different decor stuff. I was like, I don't know, put this item frame on the facing up, you know, or whatever, and see what I could put. I could put any kind of object in there that kind of has some 3D-ness to it, which is kind of cool. I know there's a command where you can get invisible item frames. So I was actually thinking about, I was considering creating almost like I was considering creating a command block in the world that if I made a potion of invisibility and an item frame and then dumped those into a hopper that was connected to a specific command block that would give me an invisible item frame and then destroy, you know, dump into like a lava or a cactus, that item, the original item frame and the potion of invisibility. That way, you know, it'd be kind of like a vanilla thing. Like I have to craft ingredients to get an invisible item frame, and then I could have invisible item frames in the game. That might be kind of cool, rather than just, you know, using the command just like willy-nilly, just to have invisibleness all over the place. But anyway, I don't know. It's just something I was thinking about. All right, cool. So the next order of business, of course, is to, we'll leave that open, is to get our villagers, our tenants, or the owners of this house. Oh man, it's so cool having a view like this with like actual buildings out there. I really got to start. It's going to have to be a whole episode where I go around and just do terraforming and texturing and decorating basically. But yeah, I think I got to get these guys into their home. That's the next thing to do. And here's our little entrance, which we're exiting through. And I really like this little entrance. You know, it's very cozy. It's very cozy. I could put something here on the shelf, maybe another item frame with some other item in it. I don't know. I wish I had some turtle eggs. Turtle eggs make nice like counter decor. But another thing that I was thinking, I was going to mention, well, this has to do, another thing I was thinking about was maybe installing, what is it? Vanilla Tweaks has they have a trader set up, a wandering trader data pack where he actually trades you decorative mini blocks. And I was like, okay, the further we progress in the game, the less we need the wandering trader for his items. And I was like, okay, at some point maybe I'll install that data pack, and then I can get some cool decorative blocks for putting on counters and walls and things like that. And I think that would be pretty cool. All right, well, that all said, I am super, super, super happy with this build. I really like it. I think it's cool. I hope you guys dig it. I thought the shed was going to be too big for it, but actually now looking at it compared to the shed looks pretty small. So maybe I should have made the shed a little taller, but I actually like the shed too. But anyway, between this and now our shepherd's house right over here, I mean, we're starting to get some really cool looking, I mean, we got some cool stuff going on here. It's starting to look like a real place. It's starting to look like a real place, man. It's starting to look like a place that I would want to live in and visit my friends and walk through little gardens and things and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. I'm happy. I'm stoked. But the next order of business, the next episode, I really, really, really don't want to do this, but I have to get shulker boxes. I have to get shulker boxes. There's no way around it. I can't be carrying all this stuff around and putting them in chests all over the place. I'm going to have to get it over with, I guess. I'm going to have to, quote unquote, bite the proverbial crossbow bolt and go do it. Even that, I don't know how am I going to fight the dragon with a crossbow? I just don't think it's going to go well. But I got to try. So I got to get shulker boxes. I can't handle this anymore. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for hanging out. I hope you guys liked the build. I hope the episode was cool for you guys today. And I will look forward to seeing you guys next week. Have a good one. Take care. And remember, if you ain't winning, you learning. See ya.